Ignorance is bliss. Many of you do not realize, but as you sit there in your cozy chairs, in our wonderful school, our country is facing a crisis. This is not a crisis that our army can solve. It isn't an economic crisis. It is a crisis within these very walls. It is the crisis of our failing school system. Don't believe me? Did you know that the United States was ranked 19th in the 2009 PISA assessment? For those of you who are unaware, the PISA assessment, or the Program for International Student Assessment, is a test taken by most developed nations that assesses their understanding on basic areas of learning, such as reading, math, and science. Approximately 70 nations took this exam, and the US was ranked 19th, far behind China, Korea, Finland, and Japan, who are amongst the top scorers. Clearly, America's education system is failing, and sadly, the ones responsible are the teachers. Resolved that the United States federal government should enact a policy to significantly improve the quality of teaching in all public schools via one or more of the following areas: compensation, teacher/job security, tenure/job security, teacher training/certification, and evaluation. Today, the affirmative will be discussing improving the areas of tenure/job security, teacher training, and teacher evaluation in regards to high school teachers. The affirmative would first like to define significantly, quality of teaching, tenure, and deselection. Using the definitions listed in Webster's dictionary, significantly meaning important, notable, or momentous. Quality of teaching, which really means producing or providing services of high quality or merit that impact knowledge of or skill in. Therefore, what the resolution is actually saying is resolved that the United States federal government should enact a policy to make a notable improvement in the quality of services provided to impact knowledge of, etc. So, what the affirmative is trying to say is that we are not trying to hurt teachers in any way. We are simply trying to improve the knowledge through teacher reform. Tenure is a status granted to an employee, usually after a probationary period, indicating that the position or employment is permanent. Finally, deselection is defined as to remove a trainee during the period of training. The affirmative would like to make it perfectly clear that we believe that good teachers are made, not born. The fact of the matter is that students are not performing at the level they will need to if our country has any hopes of retaining her status as a world superpower in the future. According to an article by CNN titled, "High School Dropout Crisis Continues in U.S., 6.2 million high schoolers between the ages of 16 to 24 dropped out of high school in 2007. Think about it. 6.2 million students dropped out of high school in 2007. 6.2 million. How can America expect to be a world superpower when so many of her citizens are dropping out of school? And to make matters worse, the average salary of a high school dropout is $15,344 a year, according to a report by the Manhattan Institute. That means that 6.2 million Americans have just potentially thrown their life away. Clearly, there is something wrong with our education system, but the only problem is where. The affirmative believes that the problem is teachers. As previously stated, teachers are currently under a system known as tenure. Under the tenure system, teachers have extreme job security and can only be deselected by violations in conduct, policy, or ethical behavior. No other job in the United States can boast about this kind of extreme security. Due to the tenure system, it is almost impossible to deselect teachers who are failing to adequately teach the students in the classroom, and that is what is most important. The affirmative would like to revise the tenure system so that it is easier to remove teachers who are only doing their students harm and are unwilling to make steps to reform for the betterment of students. If teachers are both poor performers and unwilling to perform, then they will be deselected. The affirmative would like to stress the point that deselection goes against our philosophy that teachers are made, not born, and will only be used as a last resort when all other methods fail. Teacher training is another area where reform is needed. Currently, most teachers go through a certification program through their desired college, where they learn the theory behind teaching and student psychology. This system is flawed because it offers very little hands-on experience for the teachers taking the program, and instead promotes theories to teaching that don't often work in today's rapidly changing classroom environment. Many of you may believe that teachers perform better when certified. This, however, is not nearly the case. And a study conducted by the TFA, Teach for America teachers outperformed experienced certified teachers. This is because Teach for America has a program that takes approximately 4,100 Ivy League grads and places them into very high-need inner-city schools. These teachers remain in these schools for 2 years and return full of experience and are proven to produce a better learning environment where students can succeed. The final method of teacher reform that the affirmative hopes to change is teacher evaluation. As of now, teacher evaluations count for very little. If a teacher were to receive 2 unsatisfactory ratings by a professional third-party organization, then the teacher would be dismissed. This sounds ideal, except for the fact that according to an article in the New York Times, 99% of teachers receive a satisfactory rating. In conclusion, teachers are the core problem behind our failing education system. As of now, our students are failing on a global standpoint and are failing within our own nation. Our education system is failing the brightest minds of tomorrow, and we can't just sit and watch anymore. It is time for the generation of tomorrow. It is time to stand up for the generation of tomorrow so that they can have the chance to succeed in this world as generations before. Don't sit there and do nothing. Instead, vote affirmative. Thank you.